Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Harmony and Strength Show. Our goal is to promote health and well-being in the various areas of life and to educate and empower you with holistic information for optimum living. I am Simbi,
And I'm Halim.
and we are Harmony and Strength.
And Strength.
As we begin, we want to invite you to like our Facebook page at Harmony and Strength. And make sure you visit our website, www.qualityheartbeats.com, to partake in some of our offerings for your optimal enjoyment of life. And right now, we want you to check out our ad for our new product called Sweet and Tight. Going to do a quick screen share. Where'd it go? Okay, there we go. There we go.
Come, experience the wonders of Sweet and Tight. We follow nature's way by going deep at the cellular level to pull toxins out of your body, leaving you fresh as spring. A freshness that carries the hypnotic fragrance of pheromones, producing a sweet surrender. When used regularly, this special blend of fruit extracts will allow you and your partner to enjoy the continued sweetness of your feminine nectar. Order now at www.qualityheartbeats.com.
All right. That's our commercial. So we're gonna go right in. So, well, first of all, we want to thank you. Now, Leslie, please pronounce your last name for me.
Tavernier.
Tavernier. Okay.
Yeah.
Tavernier. That's a beautiful name. Beautiful name.
Thank
So,
you.
well, Leslie Tavernier is our guest tonight, and she is a certified feminine power coach who specializes in helping women to communicate authentically, let go of control, open their hearts, and be vulnerable with men. She also supports women in integrating sexuality and spirituality in all areas of their lives. She's a mother of 2 teenage boys and is in an open relationship with several men. So, Leslie, I want you to tell us a little more about yourself that you would like to know. But first, share with the audience your contact information or how people can contact you and where they can learn more information from you.
Oh, sure. Well, the easiest way is if they're on Facebook, is just look up my name, Leslie Tavernier, and they can contact me through Facebook. They can also go to my website, which is leslietavernier.com. They can also find me on Instagram and YouTube, and it's the same, Leslie Tavernier. So whichever way you look, it's Leslie Tavernier.
Wonderful. So, now, Halim, did you have a question for her? You want me to spark it off with a question?
Well, we started off, but Leslie, I was, every time I hear you, I'm educated.
Wow.
And you once did a talk on building relationships, and you said something to the effect that if you have 4 certain qualities: vulnerability, trust, non-judgmental, and authentic love, that a person can build a relationship with virtually anybody. Do you remember that?
Yeah, actually, it's a webinar that I have. It's called The Mindset of Great Lovemaking. And I was saying that those are the 4 qualities or the 4 foundational principles that if you embody them, you can make love with anyone.
Yeah.
So it was about lovemaking, but it applies to relationships as well.
Okay. So, okay. So
Yeah.
you can also make love to anybody
Uh,
if you have those.
yeah. If you're
That's
willing to be vulnerable, if you're willing to trust them, if you're willing to love them, and not have any negative judgments about that person, yeah, you can actually make love.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so I'm thinking that those four qualities are also principles for relationships itself.
Yeah,
That if you can bring those qualities to a relationship, that those qualities will help you build a
totally,
solid
totally.
foundation and grow in the relationship. So
Yeah.
what I would like to do is just open up each one of those and go
Okay.
into that and deal with it, if that's okay with you.
Sure. We
Okay.
can do that.
So let's talk about vulnerability. Now this is especially for men,
Oh,
something
okay.
that's
Okay.
very it's kind of difficult,
Mhm.
especially in today's society, because we're trained to carry it hard,
Yeah.
to be tough, and
Mhm.
vulnerability is a softness that is
Yeah.
required for an individual to open up, and that element of trust that
Yeah.
who we're going to trust our vulnerabilities to. So
Yeah.
how do a woman um, prepare herself and invite her man to be vulnerable with her?
Oh, how does the woman do it? Okay.
How does she invite me? And I'm trained to carry it hard. So
Mhm.
how are you going to like invite me and have me to take my guard down so that I can just be sure straight up vulnerable with you and not
Yeah.
fear that you're gonna take advantage.
In one word, acceptance.
Okay.
And it sounds deceptively simple, but it's actually really hard for a lot of people, because a lot of people that are struggling in relationship, one of the things that is really challenging for them is acceptance.
Okay.
People want to change their partner. They want him or her to be something other than what they actually are, and that's where people end up banging their head against the wall, because they don't want to just accept and love the person as they are.
Okay.
So for me, if I to help a man open up with me and share his true thoughts, his real feelings, his insecurities, his embarrassments, I have to demonstrate to him over a period of time, because he's not going to just believe that right away necessarily. But I have to show him that no matter what he says to me, no matter what actions he takes, no matter what decisions he makes, I completely accept him as he is. If he sees that I'm not trying to change him, I'm not trying to debate him, I'm not trying to make him have my viewpoints, then he's going to open up to me.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can hear sincerity even in your voice. That there's a quality that a guy would be willing to share that
Hmm.
vulnerability
And
with.
it applies also in the bedroom, because if a man has any kinds of sexual challenges, whether it be erectile dysfunction or premature ejaculation, or just whatever kind of performance anxiety, if he's with a woman that does not ridicule him, that does not put him down, that does not shame him for having these challenges, then that in and of itself is going to help him to be vulnerable with her in the bedroom. And I've
Yeah.
experienced this.
Yeah. Because men need deep levels of trust.
Mm-hmm.
And that trust is a very delicate fabric when it comes to those things.
Yeah.
Because this society gives men performance anxiety.
Oh gosh.
It's pressure on men to be able to perform a certain way. And a lot of us are programmed to just have this. I gotta be Superman all the time, and I gotta
Mm.
be seen as the Iron Superman, great God, and I gotta perform that way at every level. And if I'm not,
Yeah.
then I'm afraid that I'm gonna be judged.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
this is why it's important that when women are making love to a man, that you don't just focus on how is he when it comes to intercourse. or how is he in terms of pleasing me? I also have to nurture him as well. And the act of nurturing him, massaging him, hugging him, like just holding him, that does a lot for a man.
Right. Right.
So, would you say the same things that makes a man put his guard down and allow him to be vulnerable with his woman? Would that be the same thing that a man has to offer a woman so that she can be
Yeah.
vulnerable as well?
Yeah. I mean, the man that I'm the most vulnerable with is the one who accepts me and understands me the most.
Hmm.
So if I can share all aspects of myself, my shadow and my light, and he's demonstrated that he just loves and accepts me, like I'm gonna bare my heart and soul to him.
Hmm. Yeah, and there are benefits. What are some of the benefits of that when a woman feels safe with a man? What's some of the benefits?
Oh my goodness, when she feels safe with a man, she can, well, she's gonna orgasm a whole lot easier.
Mhm.
Because a lot of women are terrified of orgasming with their man because they're scared to get emotional. They're scared to cry. They're scared that they're going to make the ugly face, so-called ugly face. So, like seriously, like a lot of women don't want to actually let go in the bedroom.
Mhm.
And even outside of the bedroom, they don't want to they don't want to allow men to take advantage of them.
Yeah.
So a lot of women too are very guarded. So
Mhm.
if a woman feels like, wow, I can actually let my guard down with this man, then that's going to translate into how she responds to him sexually.
I believe that. I believe that. I think that the hormone oxytocin is released for
Hmm.
both men and women during the orgasmic state.
Yeah,
And I think women are for the most part more in tune with that.
yeah.
So she's like reluctant to bond in that way because if she don't know that she can actually trust him on
Hmm.
that level, then
Hmm.
she'll resist opening up in
Yeah,
that.
a lot of women have been heartbroken. They fell in love with a guy, probably in their late teens, early 20s or whatever, and he fucked them over.
Yeah.
And so women are scared to go there again. So they're
Mhm.
really cautious. But it's a double-edged sword because when you're super cautious and guarded, then you lose your ability to orgasm.
Yeah.
You lose your ability to connect, to bond because you're scared.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Now I have a
That
question.
vulnerability piece is real powerful. You were saying something?
No, I have a question for Leslie. Um, we know how we're programmed in this society to basically think what's a good relationship.
Mhm.
But I want to know, what is your idea of a healthy relationship, and what is your idea of a unhealthy relationship? Like, what would be some signs?
Oh man, there's so many layers to this. For me, a healthy relationship is one where we can actually have disagreements. We can actually have arguments. We can actually even criticize each other sometimes
Mhm.
and still love each other. And I've had to learn this the hard way because I was scared of these things. I was scared to have my partner criticize me.
Mhm.
I couldn't take it. I couldn't take criticism because I took it as it means that he doesn't care about me.
Mhm.
But as I learned that, wow, you know what, I can actually hear the criticism. I can actually have a disagreement. We can have a falling out, and we still love each other. Like when you get to that point where you're like, wow, like we could go through anything, and like the love is stronger than all of it. That's a healthy relationship to me. Like healthy doesn't mean perfect.
Mhm.
Healthy means that the love is so strong that it can encompass any challenge that you face.
Mhm.
And it's
But
growing.
yeah, but if the problems or the arguments or the challenges or whatever are greater than the love,
Mhm.
then the relationship is fucked.
Yeah.
You might as well just end it.
Yeah, yeah. And so, what role, like, now, I don't know how many people go into relationships with the idea of healing,
Mm,
you know, people focus on love, with their definition of love. Some people get their definition from Hollywood or whatever,
Yes.
from people around them.
Yep.
But I don't know if many people go into relationships thinking this could be a source of healing for me. Now, do you think that if people went into relationships knowing that they have the opportunity and a responsibility to heal themselves and to help their partner heal, do you think that that can work towards having even more healthy relationships?
Totally. 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 Same with the sex. If you enter into sex knowing that it's for healing, it makes a huge difference. But same with the relationship, because then you're more realistic. Okay, because now you understand, okay, there's going to be pitfalls, there's going to be challenges, there's going to be disagreements, there's going to be times when we can't stand each other, there's going to be times when we want space, there's going to be times when we feel hurt or betrayed, there's going to be times when the sex is boring, there's going to be times when we might feel attracted to somebody else, but if you understand that all of these things are an opportunity for growth, then you can withstand any storm. But if you think it's going to be Disney and Prince Charming and Cinderella and happily ever after, you're going to be in for a rude awakening.
That's right. That's right. Now, you mentioned there may be times when you're attracted to someone else. Now, in your bio, it states that you are in an open relationship with several men.
Yes.
So I'm curious, how do you manage relationships with several men?
Well, it's not hard because most of them live in the United States and I'm in Canada. So most of our communication is through the phone or Zoom or whatever. One is here in Toronto, and he also has a primary partner. So, it's not like I have to like juggle my schedule or anything like that. But I do communicate with all of these men like on a regular basis. So that's how it works at this time.
Okay. And all of them, I mean, I ain't trying to put you out there like that, but all of them are aware of each other?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. In fact, two of them, they do business together. One of them, him, he's a coach. He coaches you and Halim, but he has done business with my partner here in Toronto. And in fact, when he comes back up, my partner in Toronto is going to do all of his photography and videography and all of that. So I asked my men, not only do they know each other, but they support each other and work together.
Wow, that's interesting. And I know it's very unusual.
Yeah.
It is.
It's just the optimal way to live where you're not in competition as much as you are in operation.
Yeah.
Well, just to get in your business a little bit more, Leslie. Okay. Now, are each of these relationships would you consider fulfilling to you? Because the reason I'm asking is, some people, have concepts of relationships where they want to get a lot from a person.
Okay.
And they feel that if they have multiple partners, that they can't really get that deep with any particular one because they got to tend to many. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, if you want somebody who's going to be like a husband or wife where they live with you all the time and they're in your bed every night and you're raising kids together, I don't currently have that. I used to. I don't currently have that arrangement. However, the men that I talk to, I consider myself to be very close to them. Every conversation that I have with a man is of substance. Like I don't have like surface conversations. My conversations are very deep. So from an emotional standpoint, I'm very fulfilled by the interactions I have with these four men. If it was just only one of them, then no, that wouldn't be enough. That's why I have multiple.
Okay.
Yeah. So I want to delve into the concept of trust.
Okay.
Because I think that to trust another person, that's really a deep level of being.
Yeah.
where you can come into that space where you can ultimately trust them and they don't cross you, and
Mm-hmm.
build on the trust. And when you're in a relationship with someone like that, judgments and true love can definitely grow and flourish. So let's talk about the trust for a
Yeah.
minute.
There's many layers to that too. So for some people, trust means that I know he's not going to ever cheat on me until I catch him. You know, that's what it is for most people. Just don't cheat. Don't cheat. But for me, trust is deeper than that. Trust is, do I believe that this man really loves me? Like when I examine my heart, when I feel within myself, do I really believe that this man loves me? And it's yes or no. And if I don't believe it, then I shouldn't be in relationship with that man. I need to take responsibility. But if I believe that he loves me, then that's enough. That's it right there. Like I don't need to check his phone or any of that other crap or wonder if he's attracted to anybody else. Like whatever, who cares? Like the bottom line is he loves me, he has my back, and that's it. That's all I need to know. That's the fundamental. But then there's another level to trust, because I've had to employ trust with strangers, when I used to have sex with strangers. And that's the level where, even though you don't know the person, even though you don't know necessarily what their intentions are, you just decide that I'm going to see the divinity in that person. And I'm going to absolutely know and believe that they want to do good by me. Okay, so that's more proactive. It's an energy field where I'm saying, like, I'm choosing to see you this way, and so therefore you're going to treat me with goodness and kindness. So I set the field. That's
Pulling the best out of him,
correct.
I will be pulling the best out of her because I'm seeing the best in her.
Correct. Correct.
If I'm giving that level of trust to a woman.
It's just, on a simpler level, it's just like, people who are scared of dogs. The
Yeah.
dogs can sense that, and so they'll jump you. But if they know you're not afraid of them, then they're not really going to bother you, because they can tell, they could feel it.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. If I trust men, and I do, men aren't going to harm me. But if I fear men, then I'm going to attract some bullshit to me.
Yeah, that's I think that's a very proactive and very empowering mental position.
Mm-hmm. I
Mental.
think I think that that's something that the Me Too movement
Mm-hmm.
would really benefit from understanding, because yes, okay, yes, let's have the laws and the punishments and all that in place, but really fundamentally, if a woman doesn't want to have to even go through that kind of experience, then by developing and cultivating the power of trust, like as a spiritual power,
Mm-hmm.
no man is going to molest her.
That's right. Because women are awesomely powerful creators.
Mm-hmm.
And fear is a powerful creator.
Yes.
But love is even more powerful.
Oh God.
The love of self. Knowing self. Now you said something interesting, and I know we ain't gonna have time tonight to unpack it.
Okay.
But and then we want to definitely have you back, Leslie, because it's a lot that you have to offer. So hopefully you'll join us again. But you
For
mentioned
sure.
something about at one time having sex with strangers.
Mm-hmm.
But it took me to your bio, and one of the things that you support women with in integrating sexuality and spirituality in all areas of their lives. So then,
Mm-hmm.
one who um, is of a certain typical mindset of mainstream society will say, well, how is she having sex with strangers, but then integrating sexuality and spirituality in all areas of life? How can she show me how to do that? She has sex with strangers.
Mm-hmm.
So what are some ways that you support women in integrating their sexuality and spirituality?
Well, one, I help them to understand that sex is not just the physical.
Mm.
You know, it's a spiritual, it's an exchange of energy. It's a dance of energy. So, you know, I help to take them out of the porn mindset,
Mhm.
because a lot of women, just like men, grew up learning about sex through porn. So they think it's a physical act, it's a technique, you know, and I tell them, no, it's really not a technique. It's not a physical act. It's about the energy, you know, the sexual polarity between the feminine and the masculine.
Mhm.
And if you cultivate your femininity, then you're going to attract your counterpart in and out of the bedroom. And when the polarity between the masculine and the feminine is strong, then the sex is automatically going to be enjoyable. You
Mm.
know, irregardless of any techniques or skills or whatever, just cultivating that polarity of, I love masculinity. I love masculine men. So from that standpoint, I'm going to enjoy any man that I'm with.
That's
Yeah,
powerful.
that's really raw. That's pure beauty, you know. And
Thank
I
you.
can utilize that for myself in terms of how I'm viewing uh, the woman.
Hmm.
And I think it's a false perception of our humanity to think that everything is supposed to be so pure,
Mm.
because you know that doesn't even truly exist. We're not in this world to you know just being pure and holy and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff, because it's false.
Hmm.
So whatever life that we're living, or whatever lifestyle that we're living, to bring that true spirituality to it, I think that's a beautiful thing. So
Hmm.
you talked about how um, powerful it is, just, you know, to have trust.
Hmm.
And that's a spiritual concept, and how just being in an environment, you're in an environment with strangers, but you know that level of trust can bring the best out of an individual.
Totally.
So that's really a beautiful thing. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
And not only does it bring the best out of them, but that's what enabled me to enjoy sex even with complete strangers. It's because I chose to put myself in that state of trust and love and vulnerability. And that's what enabled me to enjoy the sex
Yeah. Yeah.
with random men.
Right.
So
When you was at that,
that's
when you was there in your life.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, and life itself is about progress and development and growth. So, I mean, some of the things that maybe you've done in, you know, before, don't mean that you there now. See, that's the
No.
other thing that people realize, that we're in a
No,
different
anybody I have
future.
sex with, I know them like very
Yeah,
well. But
speaking
the
of
principles still apply.
that will still apply. Yes.
and and I think it's beautiful that you can say that and you clearly have no shame in your energy. So to me,
Thank you.
that's that's part of a definition of a goddess
Hmm.
who
Thank
knows
you.
herself and is doesn't take on the definitions of the pressures of society, because she knows herself enough to be
Hmm.
secure in her experience and her knowledge of herself. You know,
Yeah.
so I definitely commend you, Leslie. I
Thank you.
definitely commend you.
I
And
honor you. I honor you.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. Much honor and respect. Um, but we're running out of time,
Okay.
unfortunately. But you know, we love to have you again.
Sure.
You know, sometime in the near future, so we can delve a little deeper into some things. You know, because the rabbit hole goes deep.
It does.
But look, we definitely thank you for gracing us with your presence, and we want you to share your contact information with the audience again, so they can get in contact with you and learn more about what you have to offer.
Yeah, it's Leslie Tavernier, LESLEY TAVERNIER.com. You can use the same Leslie Tavernier to find me on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, and just hit me up.
That's beautiful. Looking
Wonderful.
forward to seeing you again.
Yes, thank you, Leslie. We want to thank the audience for watching the Harmony and Strength show. And we pray that you received something beneficial tonight that you can put to good use towards your optimal living experience. And we want to say good night to you, but we want to close out with our commercial again. And we want you to go to www.qualityheartbeats.com and check out our new product called Sweet and Tight, and listen to what the beautiful, sultry, sexy young lady has to say about it.
Come, experience the wonders of sweet and tight. We follow nature's way by going deep at the cellular level to pull toxins out of your body, leaving you fresh as spring. A freshness that carries the hypnotic fragrance of pheromones, producing a sweet surrender. When used regularly, this special blend of fruit extracts will allow you and your partner to enjoy the continued sweetness of your feminine nectar. Order now at www.qualityheartbeats.com.